literally the hardest shit ever. Like, you cannot do anything. I literally got like one side of my weights wrecked at the gym because I tried to work out, and they're calling me over the intercom to come get him literally after 5 minutes because he don't want to be with anybody but me because I'm the only person with him. But you literally just can't do anything. I'm literally so exhausted from work like 90% of the time, so I don't ever get to do like a good like real workout. And I got up trying to do a workout this evening, and he don't even want to go to the kids club. This is like the 3rd time I've tried to take him. He does not like to be with strangers, so it just makes it hard because I can't do anything. The only time I have help is when I'm working, but I can't ever do anything for myself. And the other parent just gets to do whatever they want. Literally whatever. You can go hang out with your friends. You can work out. You can complain about how tired you are. But really, like, look at my life. Like, look what I have to do every single day. I hate even complaining about this because my mom helps me a lot. And I have a nanny for my son twice a week. But that's while I'm working. I'm working 24/7. As an entrepreneur, my brain is in work mode 24/7. And I only have physical help while I'm working. And so it just makes it difficult whenever I need to do things for myself. Like, my nails are down to the nubs. My toes are a whole different story. Because it's like when do I have the time? Where's the time to go and do that? Like, I don't have anybody to keep him for me to go sit and get my nails done for an hour. I join a gym with childcare, and he doesn't want to go to the childcare because he doesn't like strangers. I can't do work from home because if I look down for 2 seconds, he's climbed up on my kitchen island. And then you got to deal with the other party complaining that you're not being nice to them. And cleaning, just cleaning all day, every day. That's literally my life. I needed to let that cry out. It's been a little minute since I've cried. I feel like I've just been so numb to all emotion that I just haven't cried. So that did make me feel a little bit better, but it's been rough recently, and he does not want anybody but me, which I love. My mama heart loves it, but my Caitlin heart, myself, wishes that he could be okay with the childcare so that I could get a workout in. My son is 17 months old, and this has by far been the hardest stage of all of it. Hi, baby. The sweetest, but definitely the hardest. And I'm acquiring a lot of mental strength throughout this, but sometimes you just have a little breakdown. Yeah, it's a lot. We're gonna figure it out. This is embarrassing. I'll probably delete this later.
Nothing feels better than watching modern women get exactly what they deserve from men. These women have always treated men like dolls they can control and toss around, but things are finally hitting them where it hurts.
Can someone tell me why it still hurts even when like you're getting back into dating and you feel more mature and you end things with someone after like a couple of dates? And like, I've been on like 3 dates recently, like 3 dates with 3 different guys, but I've gone on like second dates with all of them, second or third dates, and I ended it with one guy, the other guy ended it with me, but I was gonna end it with him anyway, so that was mutual. And this other guy, you just can tell he doesn't feel it. And like, I thought that because I'm more mature and because it's mutual, or because I'm making the decision, that it would be less hard and I would be less sad because it's early on and stuff. But I think when it's just stacked on top of each other, like, it adds up. Like, why am I crying? Like, does anybody else feel this way? Even just like when you feel like you're mostly healed and you're going back into dating, like, why does it still fucking hurt? I hate it out here.
Let's break this down. She's out here acting like 3 dates is some kind of marathon. But you cannot even imagine how many dates guys need to go on before someone shows even a little interest in them. She's crying over guys she's known for all of 5 minutes. And women are out there expecting men to just move on if they get rejected. Men have feelings too, but I get their feelings are not important. Maybe if you stopped treating every Tinder match like he's your last chance at happiness, you wouldn't be an emotional wreck after every failed connection. It's called dating, not auditioning for your future husband. And spare me the "I'm more mature now" spiel. If you were really mature, you wouldn't be making TikTok videos, asking strangers why you're sad about dudes you barely know. You'd be out there living your life, not treating every failed date like it's the end of the world. Guys, take note. This is what you're up against in the modern dating scene. Women who are one lukewarm date away from a full emotional breakdown. No wonder more guys are choosing to stay single. Can you blame them? Ladies, here's some free advice. Toughen up. If you can't handle a few dates that don't pan out without falling apart, maybe you're not ready to be dating at all. Men go through so often that it begins to feel normal. Women expect men to handle rejection easily, but when they're treated the same way, they break down and cry all over the internet. I guess it's karma hitting women where it hurts most.
Do you want to know one of the saddest realizations I recently had? Was that as a liberal woman, it is really hard to find a man who is willing to play the more traditional masculine role in the relationship in today's day and age, who is not a conservative. A man who wants to pay on the first date, who wants to open your door, who has that want and desire to take care of you and to provide, who is not a conservative. And obviously, as a liberal woman, I do want to be respected for my independence. And I do want to have my own autonomy in the relationship and not be confined or conform to the traditional female homemaker, childbearing role. And most of the men that I've dated who do have that more natural provider masculinity about them are normally conservative. So I don't really know what to do because I don't want to compromise my morals and values just to find a man. But am I asking to have my cake and eat it too?
Look who wants to have her cake and eat it too. This liberal woman is in for a rude awakening. She's out here complaining that she can't find a man who'll open doors and pay for dates, but isn't a conservative. Honey, you can't cherry-pick traditional masculinity and then cry foul when it comes with traditional values. Those provider traits you're swooning over, they come from the same mindset that you claim to be against. You can't expect a guy to be all, "Yes, queen, slay," and then magically transform into a 1950s gentleman when the check arrives. And let's talk about that "compromise my morals" line. Sweetheart, your morals seem pretty flexible when it comes to getting free dinners and having doors held open for you. Funny how principles take a back seat when there's a chance for some old-school chivalry, huh? Here's the hard truth. You're not asking to have your cake and eat it too. You're demanding a unicorn, a man who embodies traditional masculinity without any of the beliefs that typically come with it. Good luck with that. Men have realized the hard truth. They can see through women who want all the perks of traditional gender roles, but none of the responsibilities. No wonder more men are checking out of the dating scene altogether. Maybe it's time for a reality check, princess. You can't demand equality in the streets and chivalry in the sheets. Pick a lane and stick to it. Or better yet, how about treating men as individuals instead of shopping for a custom-made boyfriend who fits your contradictory wish list? To join our community and stay updated whenever we release new videos about men going their own way, be sure to subscribe to our channel.
Let's talk about asking men out. This is going to be controversial, but it's my opinion, so here we go. The advice I would give to my daughter is do not ask a man out. No. You can drop a handkerchief. Like in the olden days, a woman would drop her handkerchief to have a man pick it up, and that gave a man permission to pick it up and talk to her, let him know that she was interested. So I'm cool with dropping handkerchiefs. Telling a man that you think he's a great person, that any woman would be lucky to have him, that you love hanging out with him, that you think he's really interesting, complimenting a man a lot, to me, that's dropping a handkerchief. But I'm not going to ask a man out. And I'm not going to tell a man that I have feelings for him until he makes the first move and tells me that he has feelings for me. So I totally understand the woman from the video that this comment came from. I want to be with a man who knows what he wants, and is not afraid to go after it, who is able to be both vulnerable and confident. He can be vulnerable enough to be honest with me about how he feels, and confident enough to know that even if I say no, he's going to be okay. And also confident enough to show me that he thinks he's worthy of me. Because if a man is too scared to ask me out, that's not the kind of man I want to be with. Personally, my preference is I cannot be with a man who is too shy or too insecure to ask me out. If I have to wonder if you like me, then I'm going to wander off. And if I have made it clear that I think you're a good person and I like you as a person, you should be confident enough to ask me out. If you're not, then I don't want you asking me out anyway. That's my preference and my standard that I live by. It might not be for everybody, but it is for me.
This woman is out here talking about dropping handkerchiefs like it's 1815, not 2024. She's got the audacity to say she won't ask a man out, but she'll throw compliments at him like confetti. Honey, that's not dropping a handkerchief. That's called being a tease. You're not mysterious, you're just playing games. And let's talk about this whole, I want a man who knows what he wants spiel. Translation, I want a mind reader who will do all the work while I sit pretty. Newsflash, princess. It's 2024. If you want something, use your words like a big girl. The kicker? She can't be with a man who's too shy or insecure to ask her out. She's just gonna sit there, batting her eyelashes, waiting for Prince Charming to read her mind. Gow about treating men like actual human beings instead of performers in your personal romantic comedy? Maybe if you stopped playing these childish games, you'd actually find a real connection. It's time to grow up. If you want equality, that means equal effort in dating, too. Your great-great-grandmother might have needed to play coy to land a husband, but you don't. Stop with the games and start being authentic. Or don't and enjoy your collection of cats. Your choice.
Bro, being a single mom is literally the hardest shit ever. Like, you cannot do anything. I literally got like one side of my weights wrecked at the gym because I tried to work out, and they're calling me over the intercom to come get him literally after 5 minutes because he don't want to be with anybody but me because I'm the only person with him. But you literally just can't do anything. I'm literally so exhausted from work like 90% of the time, so I don't ever get to do like a good like real workout. And I got up trying to do a workout this evening and he don't even want to go to the kids club. This is like the third time I've tried to take him. He does not like to be with strangers, so it just makes it hard because I can't do anything. The only time I have help is when I'm working, but I can't ever do anything for myself. And the other parent just gets to do whatever they want. Literally whatever. You can go hang out with your friends. You can work out. You can complain about how tired you are. But really, like, look at my life. Like, look what I have to do every single day. I hate even complaining about this because my mom helps me a lot. And I have a nanny for my son twice a week. But that's while I'm working. I'm working 24/7. As an entrepreneur, my brain is in work mode 24/7. And I only have physical help while I'm working. And so it just makes it difficult whenever I need to do things for myself. Like, my nails are down to the nubs. My toes are a whole different story. Because it's like when do I have the time? Where's the time to go and do that? Like, I don't have anybody to keep him for me to go sit and get my nails done for an hour. I join a gym with childcare. And he doesn't want to go to the childcare because he doesn't like strangers. I can't do work from home because if I look down for 2 seconds, he's climbed up on my kitchen island. And then you got to deal with the other party complaining that you're not being nice to them. And cleaning, just cleaning all day, every day. That's literally my life. I needed to let that cry out. It's been a little minute since I've cried. I feel like I've just been so numb to all emotion that I just haven't cried. So that did make me feel a little bit better, but it's been rough recently, and he does not want anybody but me, which I love. My mama heart loves it, but my Caitlin heart, myself, wishes that he could be okay with the childcare so that I could get a workout in. My son is 17 months old, and this has by far been the hardest stage of all of it. Hi, baby. The sweetest, but definitely the hardest. And I'm acquiring a lot of mental strength throughout this, but sometimes you just have a little breakdown. Yeah, it's a lot. We're gonna figure it out. This is embarrassing. I'll probably delete this later.
Another single mom throwing herself a pity party on social media. This woman is acting like she's the first woman in history to raise a kid on her own. Millions of men do it every day without broadcasting their struggles to the entire internet. She's complaining about not being able to work out or get her nails done. Really? That's what you're upset about? Not the fact that you decided to keep that child away from its father because of your actions. And let's talk about that other parent who gets to do whatever they want. Maybe if you'd been a better partner, you wouldn't be in this mess. But no, it's easier to play the victim than to take responsibility for your choices, isn't it? The best part? She's got a nanny and a mom who helps out, but she's still complaining. Some single fathers would kill for that kind of support system. But for her, it's not enough. She needs to be martyred for her struggles. Well, instead of crying on TikTok, how about focusing on being a good mom? Your kid doesn't need your perfect nails or your gym-toned body. He needs a mother who's emotionally stable and present. Guys, if you needed another reason to be careful who you have kids with, here it is. One bad decision, and you could end up as the villain in someone's social media sob story. Choose wisely, fellas. Choose very wisely.
A guy who cannot communicate cannot lead. Yeah, a guy who cannot communicate cannot lead. Think about the guy that has ghosted you, is ghosting you, or any of the guys that have ghosted you in the past, okay? Not people that can lead. They're not guys that can lead because they can't accurately even express what is going on inside of them. If they can't effectively communicate, how can you expect them to lead you? He would rather be weird and ignore you than say, I'm not vibing anymore. I'm not interested anymore. It's not my jam. Do you know what I mean? Like, he can't even muster up 3 words. I'm not vibing anymore. Okay, that's 4. This doesn't just go for guys that have ghosted you. You could be in a relationship with someone who can't communicate with you. Like, you could be in a relationship with someone. Avoidant attachment styles cannot lead. Avoidant attachment styles cannot lead, okay? You should have no desire to want to be with anybody that cannot properly lead you, okay? Has no plan, doesn't know where he's going, doesn't know where he's taking you. Immediately no. Immediately no. That sounds like a fucking trap in hell. No thank you. I want to know that we're going to the clouds. We're going to the fairies. We're going to see the fairies, right? We're going to hold hands and kiss and go to the fairies? We're not doing that? You don't know where we're going? You don't know how to get there? Okay, this is sounding very bad.
This woman is out here preaching about communication and leadership like she's got it all figured out. But men aren't running away because they can't communicate. They're running because they've learned to spot red flags from a mile away. Let's break this down. She's going on about ghosting and avoidant attachment styles, completely oblivious to the fact that she's probably the reason guys are ghosting her in the first place. Men have wised up, sweetheart. They've learned that sometimes silence is the best response to crazy. And that bit about wanting to be led to the clouds and fairies? Give me a break. Men aren't your personal tour guides to Fantasyland. They're looking for partners, not passengers. This infantilizing of women is exactly what pushes good men away. Guys have figured out that a woman who needs to be led everywhere is just dead weight. Men know that women like this, who demand perfect communication and leadership from men while offering nothing in return, are best avoided. They've realized that these high-maintenance princesses with their fairy tale expectations are nothing but trouble. So keep preaching, sweetheart. The more you talk, the more men learn to steer clear. They're not avoiding you because they can't lead. They're avoiding you because they've learned to lead themselves away from toxic expectations and into healthier, more balanced relationships.
I really wonder how, like, Australian couples get together, because Australian guys, they can't flirt. Like, Australian men are just the worst at approaching women. They don't know how to talk to them in person. They don't know how to flirt, compliment a lady. Like, I really wonder how some of us, like, get around. And I think the same applies for, like, Canadian and New Zealand men. Like, men from Commonwealth countries have no balls when it comes to hitting on women. And it's frankly sad when you go to other countries, like, you know, Latin America, Europe, and you go like, wow, guys here actually have game with women. Like, it's shocking, honestly.
This lady has got it all figured out. Apparently, Australian men are all wimps who can't flirt. Let's get real here. This isn't about men lacking game. It's about women like her who've set the bar so high, guys need a ladder just to get over it. The men she's talking about haven't lost their balls. They've grown a brain. See, what she calls no game is actually men who've learned to be cautious. They've figured out that in today's climate, one wrong move can land you in hot water. It's not that they can't flirt. It's that they've learned it's often not worth the risk. And let's talk about these other countries she's talking about, where men apparently have all the game. Honey, that's not game you're seeing. That's cultural differences and vacation goggles. Those guys aren't better at flirting. They just haven't been burned by the same toxic dating culture. Here's what men have really learned. Women who complain about guys not approaching are often the same ones who'll cry harassment if the approach isn't from someone they deem worthy. They've learned that sometimes the safest play is not to play at all. So keep wondering why those Australian men aren't falling at your feet. They're not lacking in game, and they're just ahead of the game. They've figured out that sometimes the best move is no move at all, especially when dealing with women who have unrealistic expectations and a penchant for broad generalizations.
If you are not being approached by the masculine when you're out, and you know you're a beautiful woman, a successful woman, you have a lot to offer, let's talk, because I know how frustrating that is. I made a video about this before where I shared that until I was 24, I had never been approached out at a bar or been hit on, like, ever. Like, the first time a drink was bought for me, I turned to my sister and I was like, what do I do? And I didn't know why at the time, because I thought physically, like, okay, I like how I look. I know I have a lot to offer. Why isn't this working? I'm a driven, successful woman. What's going on? Why am I not being approached? Let me shed some light on this for you. By the way, there was even a study that came out to back part of this recently. When your energy is closed, people aren't going to approach you no matter how beautiful you are. Because as humans, we're always assessing what is the risk of me getting rejected. Especially, speaking candidly, as the culture of feminism has really changed dating, a lot of men are kind of like, do I approach? Do I let her approach me? What do? They're confused. The thing that will draw a person in to approach you, the masculine, or not have them approach you at all, is how open or closed your energy is. And I've been saying this for the longest because especially driven women usually present more in their masculine, and they're kind of like, oh, I have these walls and you have to break them down and I don't trust you and so I'm going to make you work for it sort of energy sometimes. What I've always worked with clients on is how to soften their body and open their energy up to allow that energy to come in. What this study found was exactly that in different words, just not in feminine and masculine energy work. The women who were approached the most in the study were the ones giving the most green lights that they were available for connection. Why? Because people are constantly assessing, am I going to be rejected or not? If somebody's giving you no eye contact, their body's closed, their energy's rigid, why would you approach them? You know you're going to be on the chopping block or you're going to be potentially rejected. When a woman softens, and I will do this in person with my clients when we do in-person days, we'll go out and I will teach them how to soften their body, how to keep their energy up and out in the room versus inward, how to stay open to somebody approaching them, and give those green lights to potential people to come forward. And I only know this because this used to be my biggest struggle. I was such a relationship girl that I was always closed off, so I never had that experience. And when I was dating, I didn't know how to open my energy. I taught this to a friend of mine and showed her how to open energy and have the masculine come in and approach, and it happened so fast that this person came to our table and all the things. We got in the car after and she was like, I'm hiring you for private coaching, because that little tiny shift was crazy. I can't wait to see what else we can do together. Moral of the story, how open is your energy? And are you giving them green lights to approach you? And if you want a more in-depth transformation so you can start to feel safe, relaxed, confident, open, when you choose to in dating arenas, then fill out an application, because let's talk about getting you in your most empowered, feminine, magnetic energy to help you.
Our business owner has cracked the code on why she's single. Spoiler alert, It's not because she's too awesome for men to handle. Let's break this down. She's out here comparing herself to the wives of men she finds attractive and suddenly realizes she's not exactly wifey material. Shocking, I know. It's almost like men have preferences that don't align with her.